Now we are going to see a scenario where there will be some kind of questions or implementation where we have to discuss how we can use application gateway and internal load balancer in the same architecture, right? So let's go and deep dive into the architecture diagram, right? So first, inside your virtual network, let's say you are creating a application gateway. So this is your application gateway. Okay, I will just mention it, application gateway. Now, if any traffic will come, it will always come on the public IP address of the application gateway. So let's say these are some users, right? And they are sending a traffic on the public IP address of the application gateway. So this is the public IP address. So when the request will come to the public IP address of the application gateway have a lot of feature. It is a layer 7 load balancer, which we have already discussed. Now it provides the features like it can help you to do the routing based on the URL based routing. So basically it can help on the URL based routing. So let's say if you have a website called contoso.com, okay, so contoso.com/images, if you do this forward, okay, if your application is listening, if your application is open to listen at this URL also, and it will go and it will start sending the request at the backend pool where your VM or VMSS can stay, right? So this will be your backend pool 1. Now images are going the URL are going to this backend pool. Now let's say there is some other request also which are going on the contoso.com. So that will go to the default backend pool. So let's say here this is a default backend pool. Okay, so there will be some VMs where other requests will be going. So contoso.com/image, the request will go to this backend pool 1, and the other all requests will start going to backend pool. Now once the request will go to the default backend pool, what we can do is we can create an internal load balancer here. So this is an internal load balancer. Now let's say this application or this VM which is present in the default backend pool needs to talk to the database VM, right? So this is database VM. Now this needs to talk to database. So database VM we cannot put directly open to be accessible. What we can do is we have to give we can give an internal load balancer, okay, with internal IP address. So we can give the internal IP address on this load balancer, and we can start routing the traffic on the backend load balancer. So this is how we can use application gateway as well as internal load balancer within the same architecture or same virtual network.